This podcast is brought to you by Two Pits Barbecue, Briggs Goalkeeper Training, and Ophelia Soul Food Restaurant.
Hello, hello, hello. I am Coach O, and this is the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. I'm glad you all are tuning in today. Hope you all are going to enjoy this show. And I'm sorry about that. And again, I am Coach O. This is the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. And we have a very special guest that we're going to have with us today on our podcast show. Sorry about that. On our podcast show. And you don't want to miss this special guest that we're going to have with us today. And with that being said, we're going to get into our viewers, into our sponsors of this show. And with that being said, we're going to get into the sponsors of this show. I'd like to give a big shout out to Meek and Zeke Studios. Meek and Zeke is where we're going live at in the studio. You can follow Meek and Zeke on all the podcast social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. I'd like to give another big shout out to Cold Tees T-shirts. And Cold Tees T-shirts make some of our shirts that we wear on this podcast show. If you're in having family gatherings or want T-shirts made, please reach out to Cold Tees T-shirts. Also, like to give a big shout out to Uncontested Hoops. That is by Coach Herb Washington. If you're a basketball player out there that want to improve your skills and your handling and your shooting or the mental aspect of the game, get in contact with Mr. Herb Washington, Coach Herb Washington with Uncontested Hoops, and you can follow him on Instagram. I'd like to give another big shout out to our main sponsors of the show, and that is Running Back Giving Back by former Kansas City Chiefs All-Pro fullback and Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Famer Kimball Anders. I'd like to give a big shout out to Peace of Mind Athletics. If you want to look for what skill camps at, football camps, showcases, follow Peace of Mind Athletics on Instagram. And you can also follow Coach Peace on Twitter at Coach_Peace. I'd like to give a big shout out to one of our main sponsors of this show, and that is Two Pits Barbecue, and that is by Coach L. Campbell. If you're ever in the Katy area and you want some great and fine barbecue, stop by Two Pits and let them know that Coach O sent you from the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. Also like to give a big shout out to Goalkeeper Training. That is by Coach Eric Briggs. You can follow him on Instagram at Eric Briggs 8. You can also follow him on Twitter at Eric Briggs 8 on Twitter. I also like to give a big shout out to Ophelia's Soul Food Restaurant that is located in Galveston, Texas. You can look them up on Google. If you ever stop by Ophelia Soul Food Restaurant, let them know that National Scouting Service sent you their way. They have outstanding staff and great food as well. Like to give a big shout out to Dave's Catering. Let us do it. Let us do all the work. You can find him. You can call him at 832-392-3896 and let them do the catering for you. And again, I am Coach O. This is the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. We're going to get into the highlight video of our special guest. As soon as that highlight video is done, we're going to bring our special guest on. And please feel free to ask questions, post your comments, and tune into the show as well and be a part of the show as well. Again, I am Coach O, and this is the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. Well, it seems like we're having some audio problems with the highlight video. So with that being said, I guess we're going to go ahead and bring in our special guest. Don't know what's going on with the highlight video. We was trying to get that up, can't get it up. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and bring in our special guest. And like I said, please feel free to ask questions, post your comments, and be a part of the show with us right here on the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. So without further ado, we're going to bring our special guest on, and he should be on in about 3 seconds. And then I will follow with coming on myself. And we do have our special guest on our show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Eric Lehman, who's a part of our show today, and glad to have him on our show. And Mr. Eric, before we get into you coming on the show, I'd like to give you a round of applause for being on our show and being a special guest on our show as well. Now, with that being said, Eric, if you would, let our guests know who you are, how they can follow you on your social media platforms, and what school you attend and what position you play.
Well, hi, my name is Hunter Lehman. I go to Clear Falls High School and I play inside linebacker. You can follow me on Twitter at Lehman_24 or on Instagram, the.hunter.lehman.
Okay, and we have that running across the screen. And again, Mr. Hunter Lehman on the show. We really appreciate that for you coming on the show. And I have his Twitter account logging going through the screen, as well as his email address as well. Now, Hunter, we like to open up our show with this thing called Breaking the Ice. And I'm glad to have you on the show, for one. And I know you all won Friday night, and we're going to get into that later. But my first question to you in beginning and starting off the show is, how many siblings do you have, if any?
I have 3 siblings, 2 sisters, 1 little brother.
Okay. Now, with your 2 sisters, are you the oldest, or your sisters or one of your sisters the oldest?
I'm the oldest, yeah.
Do they play sports as well?
Yeah, my smallest sister, she does cheer and basketball, and then my middle sister, she does swim and wrestling.
Okay. Well, big shout out to your sisters and your little brother. Now, with you having siblings and they playing sports, well, we know your sisters don't play football, but being the best athlete in the family, if you're looking at your sisters and you're looking at your little brother, do you consider yourself the best athlete, or do you think one of them would be the best athlete?
I would probably have to go with my little brother. He's about 1, but he'd be moving around the house really fast. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Well, big shout out to the little brother. Now, if he decides to play football, what sport do you think he would play?
No matter what, he's playing football.
He's gonna play football.
Has to.
Oh, he have to do it. He have to follow in your footsteps.
Yeah, he can do other sports, but at the end of the day, he still has to do football.
Okay. Now, with you being a football player, sometimes during football season, you have to eat right. Can't be eating a lot of junk food. Sometimes chocolate and candy, play its part with an athlete. But what would you say is your favorite food?
Probably I have to go chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice?
Yeah.
Fried or baked chicken?
Fried, not baked.
Fried. All right. Now, key question. White rice or brown rice?
Personally, I'm a white rice guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, what hobbies do you have outside of football? We know football is the hobby. That's going to be the thing that's probably going to get you in school outside of academics. But what other hobbies that you have that a lot of people wouldn't think that you do outside of football?
I mean, I also wrestle and I run track, other sports side. Yeah.
So, how long have you been wrestling?
I started freshman year.
Freshman year. How are you doing in wrestling? Did you place in district? Did you go to regional, state, or anything like that?
I mean, last year was on JV and I got second in district, so I'm hoping for a big season this year.
Now, what about track? Did you run varsity track or did you run JV track?
I'm not the fastest, but I can hold my own. I can hold my own, so I was all right.
Now, what you saying you're not the fastest, man, I see you moving around on that film. I hate that we couldn't get your highlight video up. Now, it is proven that just because your 40 time is not as fast as that you want it to be, sometimes your field speed would outweigh the 40 time. Do you agree?
Yeah, I feel like on the field I'm way faster than I would be on the track. It's like a whole different ball game.
Okay. Now, with you running track, Do you think that helps you with football?
I feel it's helped me like better running form because like I used to be like real heavy on my feet. Now I'm like lighter on my feet quicker. So I feel like it's helped me a lot.
All right. Well, big shout out to the Clear Falls track program as well as to the track coaches as well. Now, I was going to ask you what other sports you participate in, but you already answered that. It's wrestling and track. Now, out of all of these sports, this may sound like a crazy question, but I have to ask it. Out of all these sports, what is your favorite sport?
Football. Yeah.
Football. See, I would think football and wrestling are coincide because it's both dealing, because you're being aggressive with both. Football, you're a hitter. And I wish we can have the video up. For football, you're a hitter. And wrestling is being aggressive as well. Do you think with wrestling, it kind of help you with your tackling as well?
Yeah. Helps me like get low because in wrestling you get low and do slams. I've like made the same moves in football. So yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, we're still in breaking the ice. You attend Clear Falls. The colors are green and black, correct?
Green, black, and white, yeah.
Green, black, and white. What is Hunter's favorite color?
I have to go blue. Blue. Even though it doesn't coincide with Clear Falls, I'd have to go blue.
Man, that's my favorite color. And my last name is Brown, but blue is my favorite color. People ask me, they're like, your last name Brown, you think you like brown. But that's my favorite color too. What is your favorite month and why?
Probably either November or October because I'm born in November, but I'm a big Halloween guy. I love Halloween.
Oh, you like Halloween?
Mm-hmm.
So you dress up. Do Hunter go trick or treating?
Yes, I go trick or treat. I love candy.
All right. Okay. Now, how old were you when you first started playing football?
Like 4, 5 when I started. Like that's.
Okay, we're kind of losing connection. I can hear you, but okay, I can see you now. So you started playing football around 4 years old?
3rd bag, 5 I started full pack.
Okay. Now, when you playing football, like I'm a Nike guy. Nothing against the other shoe brand. What shoe do you wear, and do you wear a certain athlete's shoe?
I don't think it's a certain athletes. I wear like the Nike Panda Highs. That's my game bang cleat. I like those.
Okay. Now let's get into family over everything. This is one of my favorite parts of the show outside of academics, because I think that's very important for a student athlete. Because without academics, you're not going to be eligible, and then you're not going to have schools that's interested in you because they feel like if you can't pass in the class, you don't need to be coming to our school and wasting our time, because you're an investment. They got to pay for your scholarship, your schooling, your room and board, whatever, the lunch program. Now, how important is family to Hunter?
It's very important to me. I put family over anything. I put family over football any day.
Okay. I agree with that. And the reason why I asked you that question, because I know when we sent you the pre-interview information and want you to come on the show, the first thing you asked, can our parents come on the show?
Yeah.
You remember asking that?
Yeah.
But that's okay. It was your show. That's why we was like, if you want them to come on, you can, but it's your show, which if your parents want to come on the show, they can come on the show as well. And I'm glad to hear that, man, because your family is important, because whether you having a bad game or good game, they're going to tell you the truth and they're going to love you no matter what. And I'm pretty sure if you miss a tackle, you may have, and we're going to get into this, but you may have 14 tackles, but you missed that one tackle. That's what they'll talk about.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about your family?
I just love like spending time with them. They're all a lot like me in that sense. So like they're funny, outgoing. So it's just a great time overall.
What is one of the favorite things you love doing with your family?
When we go out, just going out in total. It's just like fun. We just hang out. We just have all in all great time.
All right. Now I got to put you on the spot here. Got to be careful how you answer this question, okay? Because you may get in a lot of trouble. Who is the biggest supporter of you throughout the family? Now we know everybody supports you, but it have to be that one person that you know gonna be crazy. They're gonna be loud instead of just sitting in the stands.
I mean, I'm not saying they're the best, but my dad is the kind of guy you'd be like, you'll hear him screaming from the stands, "Go make that play!" when I'm on the whole other side of the.
Now,
Yeah.
okay, you said that because you know you're gonna hear him. And sometimes
Mhm.
parents need to know this. And as athletes, we probably don't know how to tell them. But as a player, you can have a crowd full of people and it can be loud, but you won't always hear your parents. There's just something
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. You hear their voice.
Mhm.
Now, I'm pretty sure your other teammates, they probably hear it because they're hearing different parents, but not paying attention to it. But is that kind of embarrassing to you, or is something that now you be like, I ain't worried about it?
When I was younger, it was, but like it's been happening for like the past 13 years. So I mean, at this point, I'm just used to
All right. Well, big shout out to Dad. Big shout out to the family. I know Hunter really appreciate y'all cheering them on, whether you saying make that play or go hit them or whatever the case may be. But I know he really enjoyed that, and from him hearing that, that helps him as a athlete as well because it's going to motivate him to play a lot better and to make more plays. Now, I know I kind of we had this question sent out, and I don't like asking this question unless student athletes are comfortable with it. And when they sent you the questions, you was like, yeah, it's fine. And this is important to me because as a student athlete, it was important for me to make sure that I know I had that structure in my life because without this, even though you have the family genes, you probably wouldn't have the abilities and being able to do the things that you are able to do. And this question is, does religion play a part in your life as a student athlete?
It plays a very big part for me. Like I'm big in my faith. I like to spread my faith. I try to go to church at least twice a week, like a bare minimum.
Okay, that's what's up. And I know, like when my pastor, when he looks go back at the show, because he know I asked this question, and I think that's one of the most important things to him to hear that a student athlete is following Christ and doing the right thing through Christ. I had a student athlete on the show one time, and I asked the question, like how you said you try to go to church twice a week is
Mhm.
very important in your life, and she was kind of saying like, I think back when I was in school, because I'm an old guy, that wasn't a thing. Like it wasn't cool. But like now, she was telling me student athletes, that's something like they talk about. Like they have little meetings and pray together or pray with the other players from other teams and stuff like that. How do you feel about that? Because I'm not saying that we need to force that on student athletes because eventually they'll find their way whether they do or not. But how important is that to know that, hey, even though we playing ball, faith is a big part in my life. I'm glad and it's good to see or hear that other people is following the same route in the sport that we're playing.
I mean, yeah, I love to see people who are like confident in their faith. See, like we'll go against opposing teams in our district that I saw at church literally 2 days ago. Like I feel like it's just great to see people spreading their faith. And if they haven't, like, if they're not at that level, I pray that they get to that level one day, or at least close
Man,
to it.
I love it, Hunter. I love it. Okay, now let's get to attending school at Clear Falls High School. Now, you all have a big school. I had opportunity when I used to work in the medical field. We used to do blood drives at your school. Nice campus. Y'all junior highs on y'all campus too, is right?
Mm-hmm. It's all and the
And
it's all connected.
yeah, see, that's what I love about it. Then y'all have a daycare on y'all campus as well. So big shout out to Clear Falls for all the things that y'all doing for the community as well as for the student body, as well as for family and teachers. Now, I hope you know this, Hunter. I'm fit to put you on the spot again. What is the school's motto?
Like we have like circle words, if that's what you mean, like words that we live by.
Okay. What give me the words that y'all live by.
There's a lot of them. There's like they switch, but like the school's motto, like our like slogan would be probably "It's a great day to be a knight."
Okay, now that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So you got that right. So if your principals and administrators go back, they can't get mad at you, because that's what I was looking for. Now, I know you say y'all got a lot of slogans, but that's what I was looking for, the motto. It's a great day to be a Knight. Now, a lot of these things I looked up on social media, on Google, and everything that you find on the internet is not true. So a lot of times I get in trouble because I'll be saying things that I find on the internet, and the guests be like, no, that's wrong. So I'm glad you got that one right. Now, here go another trivia for you. What year was Clear Falls High School founded?
I'm gonna shoot in the dark here. I'm gonna go 1987.
Wrong. It was in the 2000s. Give you one more guess.
All right. Another shot in the dark. I'm gonna go 2008.
That's it.
Keep shooting, you're gonna hit it eventually.
That's it. That's it. Okay, got another one for you. What year did the school open?
You said it was founded 2008. I'm gonna go 2009.
You was one off, 2010.
Oh, I was thinking that. I swear I was thinking.
Hey, that's good though. See, you know your school history, so now the principals can't get mad at you or anything like that because you know about your school. You are a true Knight.
Yeah.
Now, how is the atmosphere at Clear Falls High School?
I mean, I feel it's great. The energy's high. Everyone there is pretty loving, pretty chill. You know, you always have a great time. It makes me actually enjoy going to school.
All right. That's good to hear. Now, I looked up online because I have to do my research too. I looked up online that you all schools start at a certain time and y'all get out fairly early. What time do you have to show up to school?
7:20.
Because that's when school starts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now in my school, we show up at 7:15, but we get out at 3:15. I looked on you all's website. Y'all show up at 7:20 and get out at 2:35.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't even know, really. I just be going to school.
Okay. All right. Now, we already talked about the atmosphere, talked about the time. Here go another trivia for you. It's a couple of them. I hope you get them all right, because if they go back and look at this, they're going to be like, how in the world you didn't know who I was or give me a shout out? Can you name who you all's principal is?
Oh, Miss Poe.
Okay, Miss Poe. Who's the associate principal?
Dr. Hopper.
There you go.
All right.
Not done yet, Hunter.
All right.
Who's the dean of instructions?
Oh, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas. I know that one.
All right. Okay. You're on a roll. Now we finna get into the APs. Can you name them?
All of them? All right. All right. This Mr. Ruiz, Miss Thibodeau, Mr. Cassidy. Who am I missing? How many are there?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna give you a hint. I don't know if this is wrong. Like I said, I got it from the internet. 2 of them have the same last name.
Oh yeah, there's a Mr. and Mrs. Ruiz. And then,
so are they married?
No, I don't believe so. I think it's a coincidence.
Okay.
And then Mr. Thibodeau, Mr. Cassidy, and there's one more. I'm blanking.
Is it a James?
James.
Like an instrument. His last name is like an instrument. Kind of, sort of like an instrument.
I'm still blanking. I don't even know.
Is it Harper?
Oh.
Oh, you're gonna be in trouble.
Oh.
You're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be in trouble. Okay. Now, what is a typical day like for you at attending Clear Falls High School? How your day start off?
I mean, fairly simple. I wake up, I shower, brush my teeth, go to school, attend my classes, and then go to practice.
So y'all, you don't have a meetup like with your teammates, friends, like if y'all in the cafeteria or in a lounge area.
I mean, during lunch, we'll meet up and like eat lunch together.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have like practice during fourth period, but yeah.
So y'all have practice during fourth period. Do y'all practice after school as well?
Yeah.
All right. So we kind of do the same thing. That's why I asked that. Now, this is your junior year, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
What are your plans what are your plans going into your senior year? I know the school year is still early, but your sophomore year, you probably was like, hey, I want to make all A's my junior year. Or I'm gonna be on time to all my classes. I was young, now I'm an upperclassman, now I gotta do better. So what are your plans going into your senior year of next year?
I'm trying to maintain that over a 4.0 average at least, bare minimum. Goal is a 4.5, right. Bare minimum, no lower than a 4.0. And
man, I tell people, not to cut you off,
no,
but I tell people all the time, the student athletes that I have here on the show, their GPAs be incredible. But we're gonna get into academics in a few minutes because I want you to hold on to what I'm about to ask you when we get further in the interview. What are your plan? What do you plan on majoring in when you go to college?
Business. I want to go
business.
Last year was more like I was looking into journalism, but now I'm looking more into business.
Now you know what? It's a coincidence that you said journalism, and here you're doing a podcast interview.
Yeah. My journalism teacher would love this.
Be sure to let them know. You're gonna, like I say, you're gonna have the link, and you can send it to whoever you want to send it to. Now let's get into academics. How important is academics to middle linebacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Middle linebacker, Mr. Hunter Lehman, who attends Clear Falls High School. Now, my first question to you with the academics is, how important is academics to you? You kind of already answered it, but let's elaborate on it a little bit. How important is academics to you?
I would say it's pretty important to me, but it's very, very important to my mom. Like, she's always on top of me on my grades. Not in a bad way. She's always trying to make me get better, which has helped me a lot because, like, in the past years, I'll, like, slack off a little bit, and then she'll help get me back on track. So it's a lot thanks to her.
Okay, see, now I got to be in a disagreement with you right here, Hunter. I know the academics is very important to mom, which they should be. That's your mom. She wants you to excel. She wants you to be at a higher plateau in your academics because that can help you go a long way with jobs and anything. But it got to be very, very high importance to you too.
I would say it's a high importance to me. But I'm saying it's a higher of importance to her. Like, I would want to say I want to maintain a 4.0. She wants me to maintain a 4.5 type of like deal.
Now, see, that's where it'd be different with me because I was never that really big academic guy. So I did pass, but I didn't excel in academics.
Yeah.
Now, if I was the guy that was making a 4.0 and then mom was like, well, Coach O, you need to make a 4.5, I'd be like, Mom, I'm making a 4. A lot of people don't even get close to a 4.0, but big shout out to mom. Continue to push Hunter in at the 4.5. Now, with you having a 4.0 GPA and your goal is a 4.5, which is remarkable, do you take any honors or pre-AP classes?
Yeah, I'm in three APs and one honor class. As of right now.
Now, when you taking AP classes and honor classes, some of the young student athletes probably don't know, but it's more of a workload, correct? Mm-hmm. Because they're preparing you for college. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're taking those type of classes, I know it's different because I'm gonna ask you this question in a few. I know it's different because you have the workload. Now, I'm not saying athletes should shy away from it, but is it kind of hard taking those classes, playing sports, getting because you're gonna have homework every day.
Yeah.
Playing sports and homework compared to taking a regular general ed class.
I mean, I would definitely say it's harder, but like with the right mindset, you could really do it. It's just like you have to be disciplined and actually make sure you take the time every day to do the stuff and do it right.
All right. Now, another question for you. I have a lot of questions. How do you manage academics and sports?
I try to keep a pretty even workload. Like as soon as I get home from practice, I usually bring up my work so I can get it done in the manly time, so I have time for a good night's rest. For the next day, repeat over again type of beat.
Now, I ask student athletes when they come on to the show, is it any reason? Because you just said you try to get your work done, and then you go home, you get all your work done. Is there any reason outside of taking the AP classes, because the workload is a lot more, a lot different? Is there any reason that, in your opinion, that a student athlete, and I know different things come about, things happen, may have to leave school early, emergency, or whatever the case may be, but is there any reason that a student athlete shouldn't be able to get their work done at school?
I feel like sometimes there may be like a possible, like if you got injured and you're in the hospital, like, I get that. But other than that, it's really just like laziness. I feel a lot of people get like torn into, or like lack of discipline. They just don't want to end up doing it. That's what I feel.
And see, that's what I was looking for. Now, a lot of people are going to be mad at you and I, Hunter, because you said that. Because I tell a lot of student athletes, like, especially if they're on the bubble of not passing, being eligible. And then when I go into Skyward and look, half the time it'd be missed assignments. Like, you ain't turned in 3 or 4 assignments. So then my question be what I just addressed with you. I'll be the why. Explain to me the why. Why you ain't turn that work in? Because I'm pretty sure when you go to class, if you go on Mondays, sometimes the teacher said it have to be done on Tuesday, or sometimes they'll say it have to be done on Wednesday. Or they may try not to give you work over the weekend, but since you don't want to get work done during the week, well, I'm going to give you work on Friday and I need it back on Monday. So now you got Saturday and Sunday to get the work done, and you still ain't turning this work in. So that's why I asked that question. And then, like for yourself, being a student that's taking honor classes and AP classes, you getting the work done and you have a 4.0. But you have kids that's not even don't have the workload that you have, and they telling me as a coach, I didn't get my work, I couldn't finish my work. And that's when I'd be like, why? So I'm glad you answered that for me. Now, we got into academics. Now we fit to get into playing football, and this is what a lot of people tune in and they want to hear. Now you go to Clear Falls High School.
Mm-hmm.
Every school has a rival, and I'm pretty sure you all have a rival, and we're about to get into that. And sometimes athletes have a personal rival. School have a rival, and it's another school that I can't wait to play because such and such probably was talking noise on social media. Who is Clear Falls' rival in football or in any sports?
For the past few years, it was Clear Creek, but we've been blowing them out by like at least 40. So we switched it to the Clear Springs High School as our new current rival.
Now, ladies and gentlemen who tuned into this podcast, I didn't say that. Hunter said that. I didn't say that they've been blowing y'all out for the past couple of years, and numbers don't lie, but I didn't say that. But since Hunter said that, we're going to bring that up later on in the show because they played Clear Creek last night, and again, it was another blowout. But Hunter started the conversation. I didn't start that conversation. Now, out of all the sports that you play, you wrestle, you run track. What was one of the motivations for you to play football?
I've just been playing it since I was little. My dad played it. My grandpa played it. It's just like been like a sport that's just been passed down through generations. My kid's gonna play it. It's just a love for the game. What I would say.
Now we're playing football. We all have our own personal goals. Some of us have short-term goals. Some of us have long-term goals. And I know you have goals as a student athlete, as a football player. But what are your expectations? What are your expectations, or the season ain't over with? What are your expectations going into your junior year this year as a football player? Something you probably didn't do last year that you wanted to get accomplished this year.
My goal for this, I want to be first team all county inside backer. That's my goal.
I think you're on your way to that, buddy. Man, I wish I was able to play that highlight video. Okay, now, what are your expectations from your coaches going into this season?
The past few years I haven't been as disciplined, so really just like making my correct read, filling the right gap, and then making the right calls, just basic stuff to make sure I get it done right and effectively.
Okay, so now you have expectations from your teammates, you have expectations of yourself, And I think every student athlete should have expectations of their coaches as well. So with you being an athlete, what expectations do you have of your coaches as a player?
I mean, any expectations I really have, our coach really fills. He really does the job effectively and efficiently. Like, if I have a question, he's gonna be able to answer it, or like a play that didn't know how to read, he's gonna know how to read it. So shout out to Coach Edwards.
Big shout out to Coach Edwards as well as the entire Clear Falls football coaching staff as well as the players. Now, we're going to get into some of your stats before we get into the season. You've been balling, my man. And when I was watching the videos and the way you be head hunting for the game, and then I went back to last season, was trying to look for some things and couldn't find it. I don't know if you was a man on a mission, trying to prove something to somebody, letting people know that they made a mistake for whatever the mistake was for you not having the stats in the career that you're having right now. Yeah. But in your first 3 preseason games, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. In Mr. Hunter's first 3 preseason games, and if I say this wrong, Hunter, you correct me. He had 36 tackles, which was first in district. 5 tackles for loss. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
5 tackles for loss, which was second in district. 1 sack, so he probably went on a blitz. 6 quarterback hurry-ups. Now, he had 36 tackles. If I was a quarterback, I'm hurrying up too. I'm trying to get rid of the ball, throwing it on the ground, because I know this young man is coming and he ain't playing. I saw him on film, and like I tell people all the time, and we just talked about, they may have said he only run a 4.7. But, Coach, he can't run a 4.7 because it looks like he's running a 4.4 on this film. That guy's coming. We can't pick him up. What shall I do? Well, you have to hurry up because he's coming. With that being said, what was the motivation for you going into them first 3 games?
I just really wanted to make a name for myself. I wanted to show everybody that I have talent. Anybody who's ever who's doubting it or not doesn't know, I wanted them to know and to prove it.
Oh, you doing that? Now, in 2023, me and you kind of briefly talked about this, and that's why I feel you have a chip on your shoulder. It was your sophomore year. Your overall record was 7-5 in district. No, your overall record was 7-5. In district, you all was 5-1. Came in second in district. When I went and looked at the stats, I didn't see too much on Hunter Lehman. Can you tell me the reason why?
I just, like I said earlier, I wasn't as disciplined last year. I was the kind of person who didn't go to a lot of summer training, so I didn't get a lot of chances to prove myself last year. So I only got in maybe 1 or 2 games.
Do you feel the coaches felt like you wasn't dedicated or trying to do the things to get on? They probably saw hey, we know you can play, Hunter, but you're not showing us.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Not mad at any coaches because it was Hunter's fault.
Yeah, it was on me.
All right. I like that. Look at that. A man with accountability. That's why them scouts gonna want him. Now we're going to the 24 season, this season. You all are currently, and if I got this wrong, coaches, don't get mad at me. I'll get stuff off the internet, and Hunter will correct me. You all are currently 4-2 overall.
Yeah.
2-1 in district. You all in 4th place. Now you 2-1. How in the world y'all in 4th place? Is it a lot of other teams 2-1?
Yeah, it's we're tied.
Okay, 2-1. Y'all are ranked 152nd in Texas. In the Texas Division 6A rankings, y'all are y'all ranked 74th. In Region 3 rankings, y'all are ranked 40. So everybody, y'all making noise. They know y'all up there. But like you said, it's 3 of y'all or so that's in the same, have the same record.
Yeah.
In Hunter's opinion, I'm putting you on the spot here. Will the Clear Falls Knights make the playoffs?
Oh, I feel like we for sure. We have a great roster, tons of big hitters and big time players on the offense and defense. So I feel like no doubt.
Now, last season, did you all? I know this answer, but for the viewers and the listeners, did you all make the playoffs?
Yeah.
How far did you all go in the playoffs?
I believe we were second round exit.
Second round exit. Now, this year, you already said it. You spoke on it, and we're going to speak it into existence. You all go into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now, in you all's district, Your average tackles is 11.8 tackles a game. That is crazy. Is that wrong?
And it's not even right.
That's not right?
The max preps thing is like bugged because like one of my games, the stats were incorrect, so it's like it's glitched. Right now it's at 12.
See that? See, I said I get it from the internet, and I knew Hunter was going to correct me, so I apologize that it's 12.
Yeah.
This could be wrong too. They have you at 31 solo tackles. Is that correct? Or is that wrong too? He said, nope.
I don't even know like solos, but I know total I'm at 60, not counting the game we played yesterday.
God dog. And then they have you at 16 assists. Man, you don't need no assists. You got all these tackles by yourself, and then they have you as at a total, which I'm pretty sure you're gonna say is wrong again, at a total of 47, which I'm pretty sure that's probably in 60 or 70.
Yeah.
Wow. Then in region 6 in 6A, the region 3 district 24 24A, where they got you at a total tackles of 47, but you rank number 1.
Yeah. And then
ball.
Imagine if it was right, it'd be even higher up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't get mad at me. I'm getting this off of Max Prep, and y'all already heard Hunter say, just imagine if it's right, because that's wrong. It should be more. Now I have to ask you. You're a middle linebacker, and you can tell me if this is wrong or not. But is it fair to say your middle linebackers and your strong safeties are pretty much the dogs on defense? Guys who can bring the wood, gonna hit you, like to put their head in the fire. Not saying nobody else like to put their head in the fire, but you guys are the catalysts and the leaders of the defense.
Yeah, I feel like me, my other inside backer, Keller Bonson, and then our strong safety, Cullen Pruitt. I feel like we can all. I know if they're running in the gap, I know we're all gonna go down and lay the wood.
All right, and I know it's true because I seen the highlight video, which I can't play on the show, and I'm mad about that. Now, Hunter, how tall are you, and how much do you weigh?
I'm about 6'1", 205 last time I checked, which is like the 2 weeks.
See, that goes to show you, man, film don't give nobody justice. Because when I was looking at your film, I was like, man, this guy's small for a linebacker, but you're not.
Yeah.
All right. Now, normally we'll go into accolades. Don't have much. Last year was your sophomore year, but I'm pretty sure you're going to make a mark. You're going to make a stand because you already made a name for yourself. Again, what are some of the things that you would like to accomplish at the end of your junior year in accolades?
Like I said earlier, I feel like first team all district, but I should hope that's a shoe-in. First team all county, I'm going for that. And then I also want to be invited to the Bayou Bowl, which is like the
Bayou Bowl.
Yeah.
I had opportunity to coach in the Bayou Bowl years ago. Now, it's one thing that you left off that I think you should be trying to accomplish as well. And I know your mother would love this. Why not academic Max Prep, academic All-American?
That too, yes. That should have came
So
up.
you left that out. See, Mom's going to be mad at you. She's going to be like, Hunter, out of all the things, why didn't you say something about academic? Now she's going to want that GPA to be a 5.0.
Dang it.
All right. Now, Hunter, every outstanding athlete has a training regimen. They do some things during the off season. They work their butt off. You could tell by some of the videos that they put on, and you'd be like, man, I could never do that. Some of the things that y'all kids are doing today, I probably wouldn't have never thought back in when I was playing ball. How do you train, and who do you train with?
It's really just me. I'll like go up to the field or go up to like a hill or something. I'll hit up some of my buddies. We'll just do like footwork. We'll go in like the sand pits and stuff at our school. We'll just like carry weight. We'll lift, do stuff just to get better.
All right. Now with your training, and this probably be a stupid question, but it's really a good question. You attend Clear Falls.
Mm-hmm.
In your training, do you train with anybody that you close friends with that attend other schools or in other districts?
Sometimes, yeah. I used to train like with like a big group of people, but now it's like I do like stuff and I'll invite like small groups of people sometimes. But yeah, because it's more fun. I prefer to play a good team with like players I know we're getting better together than like just like blow out teams by 70 every week.
Clear Creek. But Hunter said it first. Hunter said that first. All right. Now, how does your coaches, as well as your family and friends, either motivate you or support you in football?
I feel like they're all big motivators. Like if I look over the sideline and I see like my mom sitting there, it's like it's just a big motivator to just do better, work harder, just at any time. And they're all like very inspirational, giving me advice, helping me out so I can be the best version of myself.
That's good. And I'm glad you have that, man. Like we were saying earlier with family, that's everything because you definitely need that. Now let's get into recruiting. Academics is one of the most important things to me on this show. Family is the very first most important thing to me on this show. And recruiting for any student athlete, all that lines up to when you get into recruiting. Because family going to motivate you, mom, to get your grades. So now you can be recruited. You're a qualifier now because you probably passed the SAT or the ACT, so the schools know that we ain't got to worry about them coming to our school and failing. Your family, friends, and coaches going to motivate you because they're going to tell you continue to stay in shape, doing the things that you have to do so you can be on the field and perform at a high performance. In your opinion, Mr. Hunter, is attending football camps important? And if so, why?
I feel it's important because like there's so many schools, so many high schools in the world that college coaches can't come to every single one. So a camp is a good way for them to see you against other competition your similar age and see you work hard against them.
Okay. Now, in your recruiting process, what are you doing to help and strengthen your recruiting process outside of playing on the field? Because we know you can play on the field, but what are you doing far as in your recruiting, whether that's contacting coaches, emailing them, or whatever the case may be, to help you in your recruiting?
I mean, every week I'm trying to upload my highlights, trying to like I'll add coaches in some of them just to like get their attention, hopefully see it, and just like just give me an opportunity.
All right. What should a collegiate coach look for in you as a football player and a student athlete? I mean, as a student athlete, yes.
That they can get their work on time, done right in sports, make the right reads, fill the right gap, not just and be like a team player over a selfish player.
Now, in the recruiting process, do you think it's the parents' responsibility for your recruiting, the coach's responsibility, or all three?
I feel like it's the player that wants to get recruited. I feel like the parents can help out, coaches can help out. And at the end of the day, like some things you have to do for yourself. Like you can't just expect someone else to do something for you. You got to go work for it.
I had a guest on the show and said the same thing you said, female guest. Big shout out to Miss Penny. But my answer to that is I think all plays a part. With the parents, it varies because if they never played collegiate sports or got recruited, they don't really know what to do. They know how to ask questions. And they should ask questions if they go into a game and hearing a child name all across the PA system. Now I'm going to go to the counselors and be like, hey, I hear my son or daughter name across the PA. Is he or she really that good? Or ask the coach that. And then if so, well, I know my daughter or son make all A's. What schools can they go to? Then they can say, hey, your kid is qualified. They can go to any school as long as they pass the SAT or the ACT. So that would help the parent. I think it's some of the coach's responsibility because if a coach is asking Hunter, stay out of trouble, get your grades, which we know you do, stay in shape. Hey, when you get hurt, if they say stay off your pinky toe, stay off your pinky toe. Go to the trainer, get trainers, and we want you back when you're healthy. Not when you're ready to go, but when you're healthy. I think the coaches owe you an obligation to help get you recruited. Because when the schools come to the school, they go to the coaches and ask for information, but the coaches shouldn't have to wait to send your information. If you're doing all the things you're supposed to be doing, and I went to UT and I got a connection with UT, whether I was a graduate or athlete, I think they should reach out to UT and say, hey, man, take a look at this kid. I know y'all ain't recruiting them, but you're probably missing a diamond in the rough. So that's just my opinion on that. Now let's get into NIL deals with Mr. Hunter Lehman. Now we kind of discussed, I had asked when we did our pre-interview before the show, are you familiar with NIL deals? And you said you are. How do you feel about NIL deals for now, the high school and collegiate athletes being able to get paid and make money?
I mean, as someone who's hoping to be a collegiate athlete, I think it's great. I'm glad they can finally legally get money for just like to be a good player.
See, I like that. I love the NIL deals, but do you think sometimes having an NIL deal, it can lead to a player being big-headed, not performing the way they're supposed to be? Some of these kids getting NIL deals more than a collegiate head coach and probably feel like you can't tell me nothing. I make more money than you.
I mean, I feel like it definitely goes to their head, but at the end of the day, like, you know, some people you just gotta, like I said, back to discipline. You know, you just gotta work on your discipline. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter how good you are, coach, it's still the coach's job to choose to start you or not. So,
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Just throwing out this scenario because I asked student athletes this question. Let's say National Scouting Service gave Hunter a $10 million NIL deal, but there's stipulations to it. With the NIL deal, it's $10 million. Let's say we gave you $3 million up front, kind of like some people contracts, guaranteed.
yeah.
So the $3 million is guaranteed, meaning we giving you this money today. But the stipulations with the NIL deal is you have to pass your classes to get a percentage of it's your money. Not the $3 million that's guaranteed that we gave you today, but the other $8 million, $7 million that you have on deck. You have to maintain your grades, stay out of trouble, meaning don't have no problems with the law, students in the school, and we'll give you a percentage each semester. But let's say second semester, Hunter don't get that 4.5 that his mother won't. We don't give you a portion of your money. But third semester, you get the 4.5 and passing, so we'll give you a portion from the second semester as well as the third semester until you graduate. Now, Hunter decides to go into the draft, but don't graduate. So National Scouting Service will give you 3 years or 4 years to come back and get your degree. If you choose not to come back and get your degree, we'll give the rest of that, whatever left portion is left over, back to the athletic program that you was playing in. How you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like it's honestly smarter because if you give you could have a great athlete, give him $10 million, and then he fails his class next week, and then he's worth nothing to you, honestly.
And the reason why I say is that because I think the common goal is to graduate, to get your degree. Mm-hmm. So that's what you're going to school for. That's what basically got you in school was your grades. The athletic ability had a lot to do with it, but if you didn't have your grades, you wouldn't even be going to that school.
Yeah.
So continue to maintain your grades, and you're still getting paid for what you're doing, going to class, taking care of your academics, and performing on the football field. So that's my opinion with that. Well, now we're coming to the end of the show. At the end of the show, we will be playing Hunter's playlist on our podcast radio station, which is on Station Head. To listen to that, you'll have to download the Station Head app and follow National Scouting. If you're new to our radio station and you follow us, just inbox us, send us for your artist, and we'll create a playlist for you to be on our podcast radio station as well. This podcast interview audio will be on Station Head as well as on Spotify. And the visual interview will be on Facebook under National Scouting Service as well as on YouTube under National Scouting Service. Now, Hunter's playlist has Boss Man D-Lo, Lil Baby, The Weeknd, and Young Dolph. My question to Hunter is, when you're listening to this playlist, is this pregame music that's getting you motivated? Is it workout music? Is it traveling music? Is it when you're doing your homework music? Or is it all of the above?
I mean, I'm a big music guy, so I really just say all of the above. I just put my headphones in, push play, and just be doing anything. Just chill too. I just love music.
Now you have these 4 artists, which we created a playlist for you. Your favorite Boss Man D-Lo song?
I guess I'll say Sports Center.
Your favorite Lil Baby song?
On Me.
right. Your favorite The Weeknd song?
I say I guess I'll say One of the Girls.
Your favorite Young Dolph song?
Um, I'll say Preach. I'll say Preach.
All right. So now we got that out the way. We're coming to the end of the show. And I told you I'm going to let you give your shout outs to whoever you want to give your shout outs to. And then I have one last question for you. Now, I got two more questions for you. I'm going to put you on the spot. Two last questions for you before we get off the show. But before we do that, I'm going to get off the screen and I'm going to let you give your shout outs to whoever you want to give your shout outs to.
All right. All right. Personally, I just want to shout out my family who's always supported me, my mom, my little sisters. I want to shout out my defense, of course, my nose guard, Liam Gurka, my defensive end, Ryan Lagatella. Without them, I mean, the holes wouldn't be there for me to make the tackle. They eat up the blocks. Same with my other linebacker I said earlier, Keller Bonson. Great help from him. And then my outside backers, Preston Pitts, Joey Garza. The trust I have that I know that they'll make the ball bounce back inside for me to come make the tackle, or that I know I can like do something crazy because I know that my DB's behind me. Freaking Kingston Kramer, Garrison Munoz, Colin Pruitt, Caden Hizataki. I know that they're there. They can all make tackles, make plays. They're all great playmakers. So I mean, everyone on that defense really just deserves a big shout. I mean, same with the offense too. I could go all day. I mean, we got some big playmakers there. Nate Cox, Zach Greer, Brooks Ponshock, all great receivers. Dylan Proctor, and the great quarterback Jake Champagne, who really deserves attention. Same with the O line. I mean, I could just name anybody on this roster. Sorry, Cooper Todd, Jacob Lockstein, James Jordan. I mean, anybody on our team. We have a really talented team that could deserve a lot of attention. Same with our coaches. Shout out Coach Head. Shout out Coach Edwards, my position coach, and Coach Villasenor. He's a great defensive coordinator. They all deserve great attention. They're all great. I mean, just let them prove it to you. I mean.
All right. Big shout out to all of them. Big shout out to the Clear Falls family, to the administration, to the football team, to all the athletics. Now, I told you I'm a Gator guy because I coach in Dickinson. It seems like it's unfair because it's all the clear schools and Dickinson's not a clear school. So it's like everybody against the Gators, which is fine. You know, we want that smoke.
I mean, they got Brazowood too. Brazowood.
Oh yeah, Brazowood. I forgot about Brazowood. So you all are in a very strong district. Like this thing can go either way. Mm-hmm. You want to be the number 1 seed. If you're the number 4 seed, most likely playing the 1 or the 2. So you want to finish 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You all going to face the Dickinson Gators. Josh Arthur is one of the quarterbacks, which is my nephew. You have Lorenzo Aguirre, who's one of the quarterbacks. He was at McAdams Junior High when I was over at McAdams. You don't have to give the game plan because I don't want you people to think, oh, he's thinking far ahead. That's 2 different quarterbacks you have to plan for. 2 different styles, 2 different schemes. My question to you is, would that be a challenge or it will not be a challenge?
I mean, I think it's just going to be a heck of a game. I mean, Lorenzo, I've known him since Little League. We played on the Bulldogs together. I mean, I think it's going to be a challenge, but I think overall it's just be a great game to watch.
Okay. And then they have a defensive lineman, a guy that was at McAdams with me. He's a sophomore named Chase Lewis. Real good. And I know you're a defensive guy. I don't know how I want to ask this question do you think it can be one-on-one with him or they may have to double him?
I mean, I'm on defense too, so talent recognizes talent. I mean, I think I love
that.
I've heard stuff, so I mean, I hear he's pretty good. So I mean, we might have to end up double teaming him, but we got a pretty good line that I'm pretty confident in. So whatever our coach piles up, I feel like will be great.
I like that. Talent, recognize talent. See, man, you're an honest man. It ain't about I'm better than you or I'm trying to hype this thing. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. Now, my last question to you. Got to be careful how you answer this because you can be in trouble when this show ends. You all win district and you celebrate because you know you're going into the playoffs and anything can happen in the playoffs because you just got to get there. You make the game-winning interception and takes it back 100 yards. Can't be caught. You out of there. The news reporters come in Hunter's face and they say you only can give one shout out. Who would you give that shout out to? Would you give it to mom or dad?
Question. This is a crazy question. I mean, they both helped me so much. Like my mom, every day before a game, she packs me with wonderful snacks that I love. And then my dad on game day during the actual game, motivating me, helping me make plays. So, I mean, honestly, my answer would have to be no comment. No comment.
That's not fair, man. You can't leave out of here with that one. You gotta give me one.
That's a crazy question. That's a crazy question. No,
Now,
actually, I'll go mom. I'll go mom because she's been with me since when I was down in the trenches, down where I didn't even want to play football no more. She helped me stick through it. So, I mean,
okay. Well, big shout out to mom and dad. Now, let me ask you this before I let you go, because I always say I got one last question, then something else come through my mind. Your dad motivates you before every game.
mm-hmm.
Is this with a text message or is it conversation, a phone call?
He'll text me good luck, and then during the game, as I said earlier, I'll hear him screaming from the stands, "Go make that play, good tackle." So I mean, yeah, it's just like it's pretty uplifting.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Hunter Lehman that we have on the show. Like to give him a round of applause for coming on the show. Like to say thank you again for coming on the show. Be sure to tell your parents again. Thank you for allowing me to come on to your have you to come on to the show. Wishing you the best of luck, man. I'm definitely going to be at that Dickinson game. I'm also be at the Clear Springs game because Zachary Parrish is my little cousin that plays over there, the strong safety over there. So I'll be seeing who's going to have the biggest hit because he can bring it too. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely be at those games, man. I wish you the best of luck. Wish you in a successful season. I know those accolades going to come about. We ain't got to worry about that, but you got to get that academic All-American too because I know your mom would love to see you with that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Hunter Lehman. You can listen to this show on Station Head app as well as on Spotify. The YouTube part of it will be up tomorrow. Thanks for everybody that tuned in and following Hunter on his social media platforms as well. Hey, man, if you have anybody you'd like to send our way, we don't care what sport they play in. We'd love to have them on the show, and we'll definitely get the interview time and date set up with them as well. So, man, you take care. Thank you again. Good luck to you all. Great game this Friday, and keep on moving, man, and get yourself into the playoffs and do big things in the playoffs.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Hunter Lehman. Glad to have him on the show. And as always, I am Coach O. This is the National Scouting Service podcast show. And we're about to get ready to get up out of here. Really enjoyed you all tuning in to the show. And until, again, we're going to have some more outstanding student athletes on the show. You don't want to miss it. So with that being said, I am Coach O, and this is the National Scouting Service